Hi, everybody. It's Fun
Hi.
Facts Friday.
Hi, woo, another Friday.
I got the green bling on today.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, man. Today is Friday, July 24th. It is National Drive-Thru Day, National Cousins Day, and it's National Cell Phone Courtesy Month. So the whole month of July is National Cell Phone Courtesy Month. For National Drive-Thru Day, I just emailed it. For National, we are having technical difficulties again, it looks like. So for National Drive-Thru Day, this information came from nationaldaycalendar.com, www.money.com, and the Merriam-Webster.com. So National Drive-Thru Day. When you think of drive-through, Sissy, what's the first thing you think about when you think of a drive-through?
Well, first I think of, if you want to go old school, a drive-in movie theater.
That's a drive-in, a drive-through.
What do you say?
You keep moving.
Oh, well, if I drive through, then that's for food.
Most of them, yep, think for food.
But I know that there was a big drive-through the past for today and 2 days ago.
Yeah, we did. We had a drive-through diaper giveaway, and you know what? The drive-through diaper giveaway was very, very successful. I believe we were able to serve over 151 families, and that is a big, big help to those in our community. They really appreciated getting the diapers. We'll be sure to let everyone know when we do one again. And thanks to everyone who may have donated monetarily, came and volunteered your time. It was a big success. It went very well.
Good. That's really good. It looks like it went really well. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, and that was the first time we did one. And so, stay tuned for the next one. We'll be doing more.
I know that one of our customers, I think she came by because we had it posted at our job too.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So it was, like I said last week, that's just truly a blessing.
Yes, it was. And, you never know who you may be helping in doing that and how you're helping someone.
Right. So I guess you got, today being National Drive-Thru Day, today was a good day to.
It was. And it was funny because we didn't know that when we started, when we did it and when we decided to do it on that day, we didn't know that, but it was interesting when I looked and was like, oh, it's National Drive-Thru Day and we're doing the drive-through diaper giveaway. It works.
That's a good thing.
So is there anything else you think about when you think of a drive-through?
Besides food?
Yeah.
Not for me. I'm always thinking food.
Well, drive-thrus were originally started for banking purposes.
That's right. That's right.
Remember? Yeah,
that's
the drive.
Right, that's right. I remember that.
Bank, and the little tube go up. I used to think that was so fun to watch as a kid. The thing going up the tube. Yep. And so that is where the concept of a drive-through actually started. Was for the banking purposes.
So once again, I remember those drive-through bankings, and I remember going through there, driving through to get money, to go through the drive-through to get food.
It's funny. So yeah. So the first drive-through focused chain, which is what we normally think of as far as the drive-through being for food, the first drive-through focused chain opened in 1951, and it wasn't McDonald's. Can you guess who the first drive-through focused chain was? You should guess this one, sissy. They're open
Well, I
24
couldn't hear you.
hours.
I couldn't hear you. We were having technical difficulties.
Oh, so the first drive-through focused chain, which is a restaurant, opened in 1951, and it was not McDonald's. But can you guess what it was? One of our favorite places to go at about 1,
Not
2
the
o'clock
Jack in the
in
Box.
the morning. Yes, it was Jack in the Box. They were the first drive-through focused chain, and that was in California. Started in California. McDonald's did not have a drive-through until 1975.
Wow.
Yes. At that time, McDonald's had already had 3,000 restaurants worldwide and was opening locations in Nicaragua, the Bahamas, and Hong Kong, but yet they did not have a drive-through yet. So they didn't open a drive-through until after they already had 3,000 restaurants. But that showed they really were doing good because they were already being successful without having the drive-through.
Right. And I was one of those customers too.
Going to the walk up into McDonald's.
Give me a quarter pound with cheese, a fry,
Well,
a
see,
hot apple pie.
I wasn't even born yet in 1975, so I only know McDonald's as having a drive-through.
Yeah, well, I was in middle school.
So you probably were excited when they got the drive-through, huh? Because it was something new to you. No, why? Because you weren't driving yet?
You can't drive through on a bicycle.
So it didn't really make a difference to you yet. Man.
One thing I don't understand about a drive-through.
Okay, what?
In the car, the drive-through. You can't walk up. You can't ride your bike through there. You have to be in a car. Otherwise, they won't serve you.
That is true. And you know what? That probably shouldn't be like that, though, because if you think about it, everyone does not have a car.
Right.
But they may want to drive. Well, at least maybe they should make allowances when it's after their operating hours for the inside. You know, I could see during the daytime when it's super busy and them not letting a bicycle go through when it's busy. But after the inside closes, then maybe they should allow a bicycle. And even some cars, make sure you have enough gas before you go through the drive-thru.
Right.
So it says,
we got stuck like two chucks.
Right. So as of the date of this report, there are more than 211,000 fast food restaurants in the United States.
You say 211,000?
Yes. And that was as of the date that I got this report off of money.com. The definition of fast food, I had to look it up because sometimes we'll go through the line and, for instance, In-N-Out, you may be in line for a while.
And you're not in and out, are you?
Right, you're not in and out. You get in, you stay, and then you're out. So I had to look up the definition of fast food, and it says, specializing in food that can be prepared and served quickly, and then it's designed for ready availability, use, or consumption. Now this is the kicker part, and with little consideration given to quality or significance. Now that, exactly.
I mean, they're just slapping it together.
Exactly. They're not worried about the quality of it, which is how it looks, but does that also mean that they're not concerned about the quality of the contents?
Well, that's what,
Yeah, because if it's readily available and you're not concerned, little consideration. It didn't say no consideration, it just said little consideration. But it's something to make you think about.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Because whenever you use the word little, it goes with little or none.
Right. Usually it does.
Right.
And they don't want to tell us.
You know, the other thing about that I was thinking about is fast food. Also, they've talked about some of the hormones and things that are in the food because they need to mass produce it.
To make
and so ready. The fast food leads to fast growth in children a lot of times. That's why they're saying that's one of the reasons why we see children entering puberty sooner because of the hormones in the food, in the fast food. I don't know how true that is.
I believe it.
But
It makes,
I believe it. I believe it. That's why they're, I think to go along with that, the obesity and everything.
Right.
A lot more fat and.
So I can agree. Wait, listen. I agree. You know how that game show? I agree. No, because fast food chains, they're trying to change their menus to be a little healthier and everything.
Yeah, they are doing that. I said that is something that's starting now.
Right, but when you got a bag of apples sitting in a sealed up plastic bag, and you're pumping them out,
how healthy is that apple?
You on that other way with everything that they're putting in it to make them keep.
Right.
And you notice those apples in the bags never turn brown. If you cut a real apple open and set it on the counter, it turns brown, even if you put it in a Ziploc bag. So that there should tell you it's something else. Maybe they put lemon juice on them.
Right.
The lemon juice. Those apples be nice and pretty, like you just cut them.
They be nice and pretty, and there's no condensation in the bottom of the bag whatsoever.
Right.
You have to check that out.
Something else is in that bag. Those ingredients probably say more than just.
Do a drive-through.
Yeah. So I don't know. Speaking of things being faster, this goes along with our next fact about cell phone courtesy month. Cell phones now do make a lot more things convenient and things to work a lot faster. Think about when you want, especially text messaging. You call somebody, you call your friend, you want to tell them something, and they're not there and answer the phone. You either had to leave them a voice message or wait till they got home and try to call them again. Now you can just pick up the phone. Let me send a text message and say what I wanted to say.
Right.
This is National Cell Phone Courtesy Month. And we have some things, and this came from protocolww.com. So www.protocolww.com. And it's just some cell phone etiquette tips to keep in mind. And I had to look at them and realize that some of these tips I need to get better at. I'm trying to get better at cell phone etiquette, but I do need to get better at some of these tips. And I was like, you know what, it could be sort of helpful. So one of them, the first one says, hidden cell phone. Keep your phone out of sight. Placing your phone on the table or a desk sends the message that the person you're with is not your number one priority. So, and that's a big one. If you see pictures, sometimes everybody's at dinner and everybody's like this on their phone. I know sometimes I'll be at Sissy's house and we'll look around, everybody's on the phone. We're all talking to each other, but we're still on our phone texting, and then, but are we really
playing games?
Right.
Searching the net for something.
So are we really giving each other that sense of priority when we're doing that? It's something to make you think about.
Well, but I hear and understand everything that you're saying to me. So I think
our brains just are able to multitask. We can listen and respond and still be on our phones. The number 2 on cell phone etiquette is silent smartphone. Turn off your cell phone before meetings, meals, and meaningful moments like dates. If you can't turn it off, at least turn it to silent or vibrate. When I read this, you turn your phone on silent. When I read this, it also said to silence your phones and make sure you leave out of a worship service. How many times have you been in church or been in a worship service and somebody's phone has rung?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Miss
Wilson. That's where that old age-old saying comes, if that ain't Jesus calling it.
Yeah, well, tell them to call me back at the end of the message.
Right. So now do
you remember that one person that took that person's cell phone? It was ringing, it was some. It wasn't in a church, but they were in the middle of a comedy show, whatever, and the person's phone was ringing, and they said, I think it was Steve Harvey. Don't quote me on that. But they took the cell phone and they said, hello. And whoever it was, they was like, no, this is not for real. And he was like, yeah, don't call anymore. I'm on stage now. It's all about
that sounds like some Steve Harvey would probably.
It's made it part of the act.
Made it part, yeah. That sounds like some Steve Harvey would probably do. So let's see. There are some exceptions to that, though, as far as silencing your phone.
It said don't silence it in the doctor's visit?
No, it's saying if you are, these are exceptions. If you are a doctor, a nurse, a first responder, a health provider, that you may not be able to silence your phone, because if you don't have your phone with you and you set it somewhere else and it's on silent, that may be an urgent call calling you to work. So that is an exception. Those who have an infant with a babysitter, you want to be able to be reached and be contacted. If you're momentarily sharing phones with others, that was more for the hidden cell phone. So like Sissy said, we may be sitting around and scrolling through like, Sissy, look at this, look at that. And so you will have your cell phone out even when you're with others. And those expecting emergency calls, if you are already expecting a call, don't mute your phone. You know, and I know it may not seem emergency, but as a doula, me being a doula, when I have a client and they're getting close to when it's time for them to deliver their baby, I have my phone. I had to learn my phone between midnight and 7 o'clock is on do not disturb. But I will move those clients to priority calls so that I get their calls, because then that's what it means, expecting emergency calls. If you know an important call is coming, you want to be able to answer that call at any time. So,
but also if you're out to dinner with someone or in a meeting or what have you, it doesn't have to be on loud, but then you can let everybody know in advance, I'm expecting a very important telephone call, so I may have to step out.
Yes.
So,
yeah, that's good.
Yep. And that goes into our next rule. When you step out, don't just step out right outside the door of the meeting where everybody can still hear everything you're saying and all of that. It is suggested that you step outside at least 10 feet away from the building, or the door where you're walking out of, including windows when taking a phone call. And don't try to be so loud that you just want everybody else to hear. You know, step away, handle your phone call, and then come back. The cellular crutch. If you walk into a new place and don't know anyone, take the time to get to know them. Don't just use your cell phone as the crutch, the cellular crutch. Engage with people face to face. And I think that is one thing that just society today, because of cell phones, we do lack the communication. And some people don't even know how to talk to each other because you're so used to texting or using emojis. And when you're talking to people, you're like, OMG, LOL, and you're saying all these acronyms instead of actually talking to people and saying the full word, you know, because you're so used to just texting and not communicating with each other. So those are some tips for National Cell Phone Courtesy Month. Yeah. So Sissy, you see, I put my windy backdrop back on.
Yeah.
My teeth, my teeth they still look blue.
They're good.
They still look blue today. But you see this water? I wish I really was by a lake. I don't know. I think the picture looks more like an ocean.
Yeah, it looks like a tropical beach.
Yes, it does.
Where I need to be.
Yes, that would be nice. I think we all could go take a trip to the beach somewhere, but we have to make sure we social distance and don't invite too many other people with us to the beach.
I'll go by myself. I'm accepting all donations.
So, you know, as long as you don't go to this lake in Massachusetts, because we want to be able to find you and know where you are. And there is a lake in Massachusetts that I don't know if I could pronounce. In fact, I know I couldn't pronounce it. So I pulled up a video, and let me find the video that will help us know how to pronounce this lake. And it's a real lake in Massachusetts. It is called.
Hey, Sissy. So Sissy M, when she goes, she can't go to this lake then because we wouldn't be able to. By the time we get out where she is, she'll be back.
Exactly. That's my point. I'm like, we can't tell her. You know, we won't be able to tell everybody where to find her.
Right.
So I'm gonna find. Here we go. Share video. And
is it
share
pretty?
sound. I don't know. It doesn't look as pretty as that beach in my picture. But here we go. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, go full screen.
There we go.
Look at what in the world.
Webster, Massachusetts officials have agreed to correct spelling errors in road signs pointing to a lake with a 45-letter Native American name. Lake Chagagagag Man Chagag Agag Chaban Agung Gamag has one of the world's longest place names, and even some locals have given up and simply call it Lake Webster. But for the record, the misspelled signs had an O at the letter 20 instead of a U, and an H at the letter 38 instead of an N.
So
that's a long name.
Webster,
yes.
Massachusetts officials.
That is a very long name, but it actually has a meaning. It said that it is, well, first of all, it is located in Webster, Massachusetts, near the Connecticut border, and it has a surface area of 1,442 acres. So it's a nice sized lake. That word, we're just gonna say the word, the name of the lake, it means English knifemen and Nipmuc Indians at the boundary of neutral fishing place. Because it was a place where the Nipmuc Indians, they lived there, and the Englishmen, they would meet at that place and gather together. So they agreed to make it a mutual place, a neutral place. This is a picture of it.
Wow.
Yes, that's a picture of it. It's 3 sections, but it all flows into, like one section flows into the neck, so that all is considered one lake. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
And the name of it is the 3rd longest single word place name in the world, and it is number 1 in the United States. Can you guess
number 1 longest word?
Number 1
is the
longest
word in the United States?
Yes,
Wow.
for a place that has a single word. You know, some places have multiple words, but this one for the
Right.
single word, it is the longest single word in it. Yes. So that one seems nice.
Can you imagine being a child trying to learn how to spell that? I mean, when we learned how to spell Mississippi, we did the crooked letters with backs and all.
Right.
Yes.
Woo!
And well, this says it has 15 G's. So they probably came up with a name for the G, like we had cricket letter for S. They probably came up with a name or something for the G to be able to say the G's, because 15 G's is a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So can you fish there? You can fish there.
I don't know. You might be able to fish there. I wonder what kind of fish are in that lake.
I don't know, because if Sissy M is gonna, go there and we can't pronounce where she is, she has to take somebody with her. So we have to make sure there's fish in there as well.
Yeah, there might be fish.
It says it's a neutral fishing place for the two.
Well, yeah.
It was the Native Americans and the other men.
Right.
Englishmen.
The Englishmen.
So, yeah, I would think that it would be
some kind of fish in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Speaking of fish, that makes me a little hungry for fish.
A lot hungry.
Sissy, have you had fish and grits for breakfast?
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you a question. Would you rather have fish and grits for breakfast or a bowl of cereal?
But
Wow.
see, I have a bowl of cereal for dinner sometimes. So
Right.
True.
That's
true.
my late night snack, my
yeah,
Raisin Bran.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Your Raisin Bran, do you like Raisin Bran?
I like my Raisin Bran late night snack.
I like Raisin Bran too. What kind of Raisin Bran do you like?
I think my favorite is Kellogg's,
I like,
but what about you?
I think I like Kellogg's, but also they have Post Raisin Bran too. And then they have like Raisin Bran Crunch, Raisin Bran with cranberries.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I've never had that. I just want regular old Raisin Bran. What about you, Sissy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried the Raisin Bran Crunch
Well,
before,
I'm a
but
Kellogg's person.
so Kellogg's wins over here.
Yeah, well, but even though I do like those Post commercials, I like that little lady said, I just get it, make it off of work, or just get it off of work, or something like that. However she says it.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
Raisin Bran.
That's it. That's the one.
And it's heart healthy.
Right.
So
But
go
I
ahead.
didn't know it was other type. You said raisin. What kind of other Raisin Bran?
There's Raisin Bran Crunch, and
But who makes? Is that Kellogg's too?
let me see. You know what? That may be Post. Let me see. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. That may be a different. Nope. Kellogg's Raisin Bran Crunch. Yep.
Okay.
Kellogg's does do the Raisin
So
Bran Crunch.
Kellogg's makes all the Raisin Brans.
Yep. Well,
Kellogg's
no,
makes all.
not
But do
necessarily.
you remember?
Not necessarily. Kellogg's makes Raisin Bran. Post makes a
Post
Raisin Bran, but they still weren't the originals. Total, which is General Mills, they make a Raisin Bran too. But
Right, but you know, the thing about what Sister M had going on there, don't you remember the commercial? They have 2 scoops of raisins in every package.
Yep.
Don't you remember that commercial?
yeah, that's still their motto, is that it's 2 scoops. And but see, so I wonder, 2 scoops of raisins. So the Kellogg's Raisin Bran and cranberries, I wonder if they do 2 scoops of raisins and 2 scoops of cranberries too.
How many raisins in a scoop?
In a
How
scoop.
many?
I looked
Yeah,
it up
but
and
it's
somebody
a
actually did do a test of that. I didn't want to sit there and somebody actually did a test of that, but I didn't want to sit there and count all the raisins in a box of Raisin Bran.
Because you know your 2 scoops could still be less than my 1 scoop.
That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
So Raisin Bran actually, and this came from Kellogg's.com and postconsumerbrands.com, and Wikipedia for Raisin Bran, that Skinner's Raisin Bran was the first Raisin Bran brand on the market in the US in 1926. So Raisin Bran has been around since 1926. And then Kellogg's, Post introduced Raisin Bran in 1942. And then Kellogg's introduced Raisin Bran between 1942 and 1945. So around the same time, Post and Kellogg's both introduced Raisin Bran. Now, I was curious, and this was a question for me, because I was like, how can you have, usually you can't have a product that's the same thing and under the same name. So I was like, how can we have more than one type of Raisin Bran on the shelf? Well, I looked it up, and it says that in 1944, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 8th Circuit found that the name Raisin Bran, because Skinner, the one who started Skinner's Raisin Bran, he tried to trademark the name so that it wouldn't get confused and people buying the Raisin Bran thinking it was the same product.
Right.
And it cannot be appropriated as a trademark because a name that describes the ingredients, qualities, or characteristics of something cannot be used as a trademark. So it's saying basically you're calling it Raisin Bran and those are the ingredients, raisins and bran, you can't trademark that because all you're doing is telling people what the ingredients are. I thought that was something because I was like, wow, but maybe he should have came up with another little catchy name and then he could have trademarked it. But as long as it was basically just telling the ingredients, it couldn't be trademarked for exclusive use. That's how we ended up.
That's why there's so many Raisin brands.
Yep, because all they're doing is telling.
Right. Well, that's just like
It's like, what's another way? Applesauce. You can have different brands of applesauce because all you're doing is describing that it's applesauce.
Right. Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Yep.
yes,
What's some other ones? Chicken nuggets.
Potato chips.
Chicken nuggets. Yep. Potato chips.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fish
Crackers.
sticks.
Yeah.
Saltine
That's
crackers.
funny.
Yep. That is because now when you think about it, it's a lot. Fish sticks, mashed potatoes. That's probably all those things how they can come up with a generic brand of it with the same name.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Yep.
Peanut butter cookies, just like we just said peanut butter.
Right.
Peanut butter is probably one that has a lot.
Like my cornflakes.
Yep. It is. It's funny because I guess marshmallows, the concept of it is that you're just describing what the item is. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. So you gonna eat some Raisin Bran this weekend, Sissy?
No.
What do you have going on this weekend? Oh, you gonna eat your Frosted Flakes? Kellogg's, still Kellogg's. Kellogg's. Kellogg's Frosted Flakes was actually Kellogg's first cereal.
Really?
When I looked it up, that was one of their first cereals.
Because you know why?
Because
you know why? Because they're great.
Okay.
I knew you were going to say that. They're not good. They're great.
No, but you know what? I do eat Raisin Bran too. But
I ate some Raisin Bran last night. I think probably because I was thinking about Fun Facts Friday, talking about Raisin Bran, and made me want some Raisin Bran last night.
Well, that's what made me eat some Frosted Flakes.
What do you have planned?
That's why I said, anything that you have for breakfast, you can have for lunch or dinner. Whatever, but sometimes just having a good bowl of cereal and watching a movie or something.
Well, I think the technical term for breakfast, meaning of breakfast, is you're breaking your fast. So even if you eat it for dinner, you're breaking the fast that you started after lunch.
Okay. I don't think that's how it works.
Well, I guess that's why I don't do too well on the fast then, huh?
Right. But that eating cereal at different times of the day, I found out that is kind of a cultural type thing. And some people are really hard against it. I remember a close family member, when they were in a care home, a private care home, they weren't eating much, but they wanted their cereal because they were used to having cereal pretty much every evening after dinner. Like late night snack was cereal. And so she was asking for cereal. She was elderly. She was asking for cereal, and the care providers in the place were upset and wouldn't give her the cereal. And so she was calling us, telling her they wouldn't let her eat and all of that. And, so we checked it out and we were like, well, what's going on? And like, well, she only wants to eat cereal and it's dinner time and she's asking for a bowl of cereal. And we were like, well, what's the problem with that?
Right.
You don't eat cereal in the night. You eat cereal for breakfast. And I was like, we always eat cereal. We eat cereal anytime.
Whenever you want.
Like just her own cereal so that they would make sure she got her cereal when she wanted it. Because they were really against her eating cereal at night.
Wow.
But that's what she wanted to eat. So some people, it's certain times of the day that you eat certain things and that's it. But then other people, like we're talking right now, we're saying, no, that's what we do. Anytime you want to have pancake sausage, you want to have breakfast, you want to have cereal, that could be dinner.
We do say we're having breakfast for dinner though, but it's still okay to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yeah. Sometimes when you need a
we
bowl
take
of
as common
cereal,
or not so common.
So I guess we should say that steak shouldn't be eaten for breakfast because it's a dinner food. How people have steak and eggs?
Right.
But I have steak and vegetables in the evening time.
Right.
Or at lunch time, I can have a steak sandwich.
You can eat steak all day long.
Steak all day.
Right.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But cereal though, sometimes, when you don't have a dessert and you just want something sweet.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you get some good sweet cereal. Not always Raisin Bran, but you get one of the sweet cereals too.
And then you get that crunch with it. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, what am I doing this weekend? We're doing a supply giveaway for childcare providers at Solano Family Children's Services. So I'll be helping with that. And working church on Sunday.
Wow.
At Word of Faith Christian Center, where we'll catch Sissy in the chat.
Hit me in the chat.
Yeah, they did a good big drive-through giveaway today. Diapers giveaway.
Yes, it was.
I heard they served over 150 families.
Yes,
wow.
It was very good.
Yeah. Thousands of diapers.
Really good.
Yeah, that's a lot of diapers.
That's a lot of diapers. Now, were there cards? Do you know if they gave away, cards with information?
Yes, that was done too. For the school that's over there, the school and the church. Yeah. Well, and that might be something good for us to think about doing, is maybe spreading some information from different businesses that maybe can send in their information about their businesses, and we can check them out, find out some information, and try to support, now during this COVID stuff, a lot of businesses aren't able to make as much revenue as they used to. So, it could be something we could share, or maybe just get them on, tell us about their businesses,
Yes, definitely. Send any of us a message. Put a comment with your email or something under the live video that you're watching, and let us know, how to reach you and contact you, and just say, I have a business I'd like to share. And even if you don't want to come on personally, like she said, you can give us your information and we can share it and check out your business and just help spread the word. Let's all work together.
Guess what? On Sundays, hit me in the chat.
There you go.
All right, we'll see you guys next Friday at 6:30. We'll talk about this, that, and everything.
Look, and to all our cousins, happy Cousins Day.
Yes, happy Cousins Day.
Oh, yeah. Happy Cousins Day.
All the cousins say, deuces.
Use that cell phone wisely.
Deuces.